Hello everyone and welcome back to another session of Daily Current Affairs by SSB Crack Exams. I am Chetan Apurab and I'll be taking you today's session for 23rd May. So let's begin guys talking about SSB Crack Exams. So this is a one-stop solution for all the major defense-related examinations like CDS, FCAT, NDA. For more details regarding the courses that we offer, you can visit to our official website learn.ssbcrackexams.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for getting regular current affair videos and other defense related videos. Don't forget to download our app from Google Play Store SSB Crack Exams. Now moving ahead guys, we shall start our session like always with the question of the day from yesterday's session. So yesterday I asked you guys about KVIC as it was in the news yesterday. So KVIC is nothing but the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. This is a full form of KVIC, and it is a statutory body formed in April 1957 by the Government of India under the Act of Parliament Khadi and Village Industries Commission Act of 1956. Further, it is an apex organization under the Ministry of MSME, that is Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, with regard to Khadi and Village Industries within India, which seeks to and basically I'm going to tell you about the basic objective of this particular KVIC. So it is to plan, promote, facilitate, organize and assist in the establishments and development of khadi as well as many micro village industries in the rural areas in coordination with other agencies engaged in rural development wherever it is necessary, right? Okay, so let's start with the news of today. First news is about more production areas under summer crops over last year. Procurement also has risen from last year as compared to last year, right? So we'll crop by crop individually we'll see what has been the data that has been changed and how the data has been increased from last year as compared to last year. So especially if I talk about the sowing of summer crops, so in summer crops in rice, previous year the total cultivation area was 34.87 lakh hectares of cultivated area, but sorry, it is the current year data as compared to 25.29 lakh hectares of previous year, so it has clearly increased. Similarly, for pulses it has increased from 9.767 lakh hectares to 12.82 lakh hectares. Further, for coarse cereals it has increased from 7.30 lakh hectares to 10.28 lakh hectares, and for oilseeds it has increased from 7.34 lakh hectares areas to 7.2 lakh hectares of area, right? Further, if we talk about the procurement of pulses and oil seeds as compared to previous year, so a quantity of 5.89 lakh metric ton gram, which is in Hindi we say it as chana, and 4.97 lakh metric ton of mustard and 4.99 lakh metric ton of tur dal has been procured already up till date by NAFED during this lockdown period. Now, what is this NAFED? This is National Agriculture Cooperative Marketing Federation of India Limited. Okay, now what wheat procurement, if we talk about the wheat procurement for Rabi season, so in Rabi marketing season, that is previous season of 2021, a total of 337.48 lakh metric ton wheat is arrived in FCIs, that is Food Corporation of India, the godowns of Food Corporation of India, out of which almost 326.96 lakh metric ton is already purchased by be it the government or any other buyers, right? So this is the current update of procurement and production from the agricultural sector. Further, moving ahead, next news is about Japanese companies are invited to invest in Indian, specially pharmaceutical and medical devices industry. So there was a webinar which was conducted on medical devices and API sector challenges and emerging opportunities, which was held for business and trade collaboration between India and Japan. Remember this in the post COVID-19 scenario, that is after the COVID-19 gets over, right? The webinar was organized by the Embassy of India and Japan, Tokyo, in partnership with Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, and the Government of India. Representatives of Japanese subsidiaries Nipro India Corp and Eisai Pharmaceuticals India Private Limited, these two companies shared a detailed presentation and their experience about Make in India program. So this meeting was basically all about how Japanese companies and Indian companies can work together in this field of pharmaceutical and medical device industry, so that both of them get benefited from each other's business and both of them can contribute to each other's progress, right? Now, further moving ahead, the next news is about IMD weather services now will be available via Umang mobile app, which was launched by Government of India 3 years back. Right, so we'll first know what is this Umang mobile app. So this Umang mobile app, which is short for Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance, is the Government of India all-in-one single, unified, secure, multi-channel, multi-platform, multilingual, multi-service mobile app, which is powered by a robust back-end platform which provides access to high-impact services of various organizations, be it central organizations or state organizations, right? Now, it was launched by Prime Minister in the year 2017, and to bring out major government services on a single mobile app, because we all know almost every individual in current situation has a smartphone, so that will be of great use, with a larger goal to make the government accessible on the mobile phone of our citizens, because of course, like I said, most of the citizens of our country now use a smartphone, so it will become very easier for them to access and avail all the facilities of the government, right? In total, 660 services as of now from 127 different governmental departments and 25 states, and about 180 utility bill payment services are live already on this app, and more are in still pipeline, right? By utility bill payments, for example, it can be any electricity bill for any state government, right? So that kind of utility bill payment service I'm talking about. Umang user base has already crossed 2.1 crore, including Android, iOS, web, and chaos platforms. Now, further, let's hear about what the news is actually all about. So, in total, 7 new IMD weather services has been, you can say, uploaded and will be accessible from the Umang mobile app. Now, what are those 7 services? We'll discuss about that. The first one being current weather. So it will tell you about the current temperature, humidity, wind, speed, direction for 150 cities, updated 8 times a day. Information on sunrise, beach sunset, moonrise, moonset is also available and will also be given in this particular category. Further, then we have Nowcast. This is 3 hourly warnings of localized weather phenomena and their intensity issued for about 800 different weather stations and districts of India by state meteorological centers of IMD. In case of severe weather, its impact also is included in the warning. So you'll be warned if there is any severe or adverse change in the weather nearby your location. The next one is city forecast, which is past 24 hours and 7-day forecast of weather conditions around 450 different cities in India will also be given. Further, rainfall information. This will be all India district rainfall information daily, weekly, monthly on daily, weekly and monthly basis, and cumulative series will also be available. Then further tourism forecast, which is past 24 hours and 7-day forecast of weather conditions of around 100 tourist cities. Specifically, those tourist cities in India are provided. Then warnings. The alert issued to warn citizens of approaching dangerous weather. It is color coded in red, orange and yellow. Are the alert levels with red as the most severe category, issued twice a day for all districts for the coming 5 days. Then cyclones and alert provides the track of cyclonic storms or thunders along with likely time and point of crossing of coast. Impact based warnings, for example, if any particular cyclone is going to hit any particular coastal area, then that will be informed to that particular district. Area district wise are issued so that appropriate preparation including evacuation of vulnerable areas can also be done, right? So this was the new update. The next news is from the power sector. So big companies, 2 big companies, NTPC and ONGC, has signed a joint venture company for renewable energy business, right? Now, NTPC Limited, which is also a PSU under Ministry of Power, and ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, which is also a PSU under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Please don't get confused. NTPC works under Ministry of Power and ONGC works under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Have signed a MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding, to set up a joint venture company for renewable energy business, right? Now, the MOU will enable both the companies to accelerate their footprint in the renewable energy. As per the MOU, NTPC and ONGC will explore the setting up of offshore wind and other renewable energy projects in India and of course overseas as well, if and when required. They shall explore opportunities in the field of sustainability, storage, e-mobility and ESG, which is environmental and social and governance compliant projects. Further, if you talk about the present, you can say portfolios of both the companies. So NTPC presently has 920 megawatt of already installed renewable power projects in its portfolio, and about 2300 megawatt of renewable energy projects are still under construction. With this tie-up, NTPC would accelerate its RE capacity, that is renewable energy capacity, of course, addition program, and expand its footprint in offshore wind and overseas renewable energy projects as well. This will help India's largest power generator, which is NTPC, to achieve its ambitious target of 32 gigawatt of renewable energy projects by 2032. Further, if you talk about the portfolio of ONGC, so it has a renewable portfolio of 176 megawatt already, comprising of 153 megawatt of wind power and 23 megawatt of solar power. This development will enhance the presence of ONGC in the renewable power business as well and enable its ambitious to add 10 gigawatt of renewable power to its portfolio by 2040. So both the firms, both the PSUs are going to get a lot of benefit from this particular joint venture, right? Further, we talk about the appointments. So we have already discussed this in previous session of current affairs. Let me remind you again. So finally, Dr. Harshvardhan, who is our honorable health minister currently, has been appointed as the chairman for World Health Assembly and executive boards meeting. He of course chaired the 147th session of executive boards meeting of the World Health Assembly. And he also said in a tweet that he feels privileged that this honor has been bestowed upon India, right? Further, moving ahead, we shall end our today's session with the COVID-19 current update in India. So as of 23rd May till 8 a.m., the total number of positive cases has increased to 1,25,101, with total number of active cases as 69,597. Although the number of cured or the discharged patients has also increased and crossed the 50,000 mark. It is 51784 at present. Unfortunately, the number of deaths has also increased to 3,720. Further, moving ahead, guys, it's quiz time. So the question for the first question for today is, which of the following IMD weather service is available on the Umang? Your options are nowcast, rainfall information, and cyclones. So all these three are available. Total 7 new services of by IMD has been made accessible to the users of Umang app, and all these three are one of those 7. So the correct answer will be, of course, all the above. Further, the next question is, with which of the following has NTPC signed a MOU for renewable energy projects? So recently it has signed an MOU with ONGC. Both the PSUs will do a joint venture company, form a joint venture company, and then they will work in this particular field of renewable energy projects, specifically in offshore wind harnessing, and then apart from that, of course, overseas projects as well. Right? So the correct answer for this is option A, which is ONGC. Now it's time for the question of the day, guys. You have to answer in the comment section about what is NAFED, the basic factual details like we always do. The answer to this will be told in the next session. Till then, be safe, take care, Jai Hind.